You're probably like, oh, come on, Lisa. I do not want to be reading my text during my summer holidays, which are probably going to be my last final real holiday before the big VCE year. But sorry, that is what I'm telling you. So most of you are probably thinking that reading your text during your summer holidays is extremely mundane and you just don't want to do it because you would much rather spend your time going out to the beach, hanging out with your friends, going shopping, whatever you want to do. I'm all for you guys doing all of that, but you should definitely just put aside a little bit of time every single day, if it's not every day, every second day, or whatever it is, just to dedicate yourself to reading those texts before school starts. It's going to be a massive benefit to you and you're really going to thank yourself when you actually start school. First reason is that it helps to prepare your mindset. So once you've already read your text during the summer holidays, as soon as you started in school and as soon as your teacher starts, honing in on those themes, particular characters, talking about certain events that occur in the book, then you are already on top of it. And you know that when you expose yourself at least a slightest bit to a particular thing, and when someone else talks about it, you have such a bigger and more holistic understanding of what's going on. And this can be applied for anything really. Let's say, for example, something as extreme as American politics. You might not know anything about American politics, but as soon as someone tells you a little bit about it, next time you hear about it, you sort of just understand more, even if it's not understanding every single little concept about it. And the same thing applies to these texts. As soon as you've exposed yourself to what's actually going on in the text, who the characters are, when the teacher starts talking about it, you're going to be right on point. Whereas a lot of people will still be struggling and will have no idea who the teacher is talking about because they just simply haven't read the text yet. And some students don't ever read the text throughout their entire school year, which is so wrong. So if you're watching this, please don't do that, okay? And if you are watching this, you are probably a student who does want to do well, so I have faith in you that you will be reading your texts. Sometimes your teacher might even bring up a vital piece of information that you would have overlooked if you hadn't read the text because you didn't realize of what importance and significance that particular concept was. Just by reading your text prior to studying it in class really helps you absorb as much information as you possibly can from the outset. Second thing is exposure to all the possibilities. When you read your text before the school year starts, even if it's a text that you're not going to be studying until later in the year, so term 3 or term 4, this actually helps to benefit you a lot because as you're moving through the school year, you might actually come across something where you realize, hey, you know what, I'm not studying this text yet, but I realize that this article I'm reading online could really help with my understanding of a text later on. So let's just say if you are studying Brooklyn by Colm Tobin, I think that's how you say it. I struggled for the longest time pronouncing the main character's name Eilish, even though it's spelled E-I-L-I-S, so I always thought it was something like Ellis when I first started. Hands up if you guys thought that too. If you're reading Brooklyn, which is a story about a young girl who emigrates to America from Ireland, then as you're going through the year and you might come across an article about immigration or emigration, and so you might be like, hey, you know what? I might bookmark this for later on because it could really come in handy later. So by already exposing yourself to the text previously, as the year comes along, you're going to find yourself exposed to different types of things and you'll grab that information when you know that it can possibly be beneficial to you later on. Whereas if you didn't read the text, you'd just be completely oblivious to everything that's going around you and yeah. Third thing is lightening your workload during VCE. So by reading your text during the summer holidays, you've already put in a lot of the hard work and saved yourself a lot of time and stress and pressure during the school year because as you probably know already, VCE is a pretty hectic year and you are constantly fighting for time because you are always going through all these SACs, assignments, studying for those SACs and assignments, and then it's a roller coaster and it just keeps going and going for the entire year. So by reading your text during the summer holidays, which can be seen as something that is of leisure, you are already helping yourself out for your future self. And your future self will, without a doubt, thank your past self for doing so. And by saying that you need to read your texts during the summer holidays, it's not saying that you need to start studying them straight away. It's not saying that you need to start reading study guides and you need to start practicing your essays. No, I'm not saying that. Just have a read of your text. That's as simple as it gets. Just treat it like reading a book, and that's it. And I know that some of you out there hate reading books, but I'm sorry, I don't have a solution to help you there. Maybe I'll do a video at some point talking about how you can make reading a little bit more pleasurable for you guys. But in the meantime, even if it's reading 20 pages a day or reading 20 minutes a day, then just by doing that, little steps can become a really big step forward for yourself. And a lot of the times, you guys are probably doing not that much during the summer holidays anyway, right? So if you're lazing at the beach, drag a book with you. If you're going out to brunch with a friend and you guys see each other all the time anyway, why don't you guys just bring a book and then spend maybe half that time just reading your text? And then maybe you guys could even talk about it. So there's heaps of options out there. Even if you like to sunbake out in your backyard, bring your book with you. It doesn't matter how you go about it, as long as you just do it, because again, you are going to thank yourself. There is absolutely no reason why you can't have fun and do a little bit of reading on the side as well. So that's pretty much it. I hope all of you out there who are watching this video will read your text. Thumbs up for me if you realize how important it is to read your text during the school holidays, regardless of if you are going to do it or if you're not going to do it, despite the advice given to you. Comment below if you've got any questions that you'd like me to answer, or if you'd like me to do any future videos on particular topics, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye guys! Guess what? My teacher came back to me and she said, this is a B essay. And I was like, what? Say what?